Alright, so PWD, we talked about that, which is the present working directory. If you want to change your path to something different, you can actually go ahead and do, you can specify your own path wherever you want to have your path, and you can actually save the file or import the file, basically change the IO to that particular location. So for example, I was not happy with this PWD, so I can say users are Pandey desktop classes, for example. If you want, you can actually go ahead and do that, right? So you can have your own path defined and save the file directly there, yeah? We'll talk about the saving and all that a little bit later. Shall we move on to the string manipulation then? This is going to be interesting. Yeah. You need to give the path, yeah, exactly. You can specify any path that you want to have. So the point is, let's say this is the location that you'll keep on referring to n number of times, right? So rather than typing this thing n number of times, you can say path file, wherever that file is, right? So you can actually just be using the shortcut and be more efficient in the process, right? So next one, we're going to begin with the slicing and dicing, the indexing in the Python, how the indexing really works, right? So guys, pay attention, because this indexing will be valid throughout the Python. So whether it's a data frame, whether it's the string, whether it's the NumPy array, whatever it is, the indexing will remain the same, right? And specifically pay attention to this particular portion. So I have a word called Python, right? How many characters we have? 6, right? So there are two ways Python index anything. One is left to right, and that will always begin with the index of 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The other way you can index is right to left, and that will begin with -1, right? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on and so forth, right? Left to right begins with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 6 characters, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, right? Why do you think we need both left to right and right to left? Is it just redundant, or is it going to serve a value, right? So if you have a big string, rather than searching from the left to right and then go in the end, why don't you search from there, right? And particularly in terms of the efficiency that we're looking at. So let's do some so just go ahead and type Python. So I'm going to define my string over here. My string is, I'm defining actually two different strings. My first string is I love. The second string is Python. And we will be doing a lot of manipulation on these two strings. And then we will begin with the slicing of the second string, which is the Python. And then we'll be trying to, group the strings together and so on and so forth, right? Shall we move on? So what do you think is happening over here? So we are providing the index, right? So I'm saying, give me the character which is sitting at the 0 index position. And what is that one? P. So this is the output, right? In the next one, I'm saying, give me the character which is sitting at the 3rd place. H, right? Give me the character which is sitting at the -4th position, which is T, right? So now you tell me what is going to be the -5 code wise. Execute the code and give me what is sitting at the -5 position, -5 index. Yeah. No, execute the code. That's how you'll know. Make sure you're able to replicate this output. So this is pulling one specific member. Then
Python indexing, my string 2 is python within the quotes. And these are.
Did you use str somewhere else as the name of the variable? Can you check? Because if you use it, it's the what do we call that? System keyword. So if you use it somewhere, then it's going to get confused. Never use the str, because str is a reserved keyword for the system usage. So if you use it somewhere, just run the code. Check your code again. I have seen that error happening earlier, and normally it happens because somewhere you have used the str. Control F. Just go to your notebook and do Control F. You can find if you have used the str somewhere. If not, I'll say open a brand new. No, you'll have to close the session because it still remembers that. So the kernel has to be closed. So you'll have to close the kernel and then execute this, and then it will work. because it remembers that you've defined str somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So minus 5 as expected is going to give you this one, y, right? So far so good. Now, so this was pulling one character. What if I want to pull many characters? This is what we call as the slicing and dicing, right? And you can again slice and dice from both sides. So if you begin at 1 and end at 4, it will give you 1, 2 and 3. 4 is going to be excluded. This is one of those things that you have to remember in Python. The last index is always excluded in the slicing. So when you say I want from 1 to 4, it will give you 1, 2 and 3, right? So go back to this one and let me take a picture of this so you remember what we're looking at. Let me just do this, so that you always have a. Now who can tell me what will be the output? Sorry, I showed you the answer already. What will be the output from 1 to 4? So if I'm saying my string 1 to 4, so it will be 1, 2, 3, no, 4 will not be there. So it will be Y, T and H. Is that clear? Fourth position is going to be excluded. The last index position is going to be excluded. If I say minus 4 to minus 1, this, and this, no, this will not be included. It will be minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. Is that clear? So go ahead and give it a try. What do you think is going to be minus 6 hyphen nothing? So it will begin at minus 6, then where will it end? Till the end. So it will pull the entire characters, right? So all of them will be pulled. So minus 6 hyphen nothing means there is no stop position. It will pull everything after minus 6. Is that clear? So this is how the output should look like for you. 1 to 4 is going to be YTH, right? So 1, 2, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, YTH. Minus 4 to minus 1. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So minus 4 to minus 1 will be THO, right? Minus 6 to nothing, basically to the end, means that you're going to pull the entire string starting over here. 1 to end, meaning you will start with, yeah, so you start with the Y and then pull till the end. That's Python. Yeah? Is that clear how you're slicing and dicing? THO is not clear? So THO is, we are beginning with minus 4. So where is minus 4 over here? That's minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, last will be excluded. That's the THO, right? Working.
Okay.
Square brackets.
So square brackets.
Yeah. So guys, one shortcut that I forgot to mention is, let's say you want to refer to this one all the time. So type my and hit string. So it will automatically show you, whatever you have used with the my, and then you can just simply select, and that we can reduce the typing need that you have, right? So tab, or just type M. It will tell you all the things that you have defined with the M.
We are inputting a number to call a particular position. It should be in the square bracket.
Exactly.
Okay.
Index. So anytime you're indexing, it has to be in the square brackets. You can type M also, but then you're gonna look at a lot of things. So you have to be specific, right? So if you still go till here, there's only 2 objects which have the same 4 characters to start with. My string 1, my string 2, right? Even in some of the other IDs, it can happen in an automated way, but there are a lot of pluses in the Jupyter notebook, so that's why you have to live with some of the inconvenience as well, yeah. Shall we move on from the string manipulation? Now we're going to do addition of the string. So remember we have 2 strings, my string 1 and my string 2. We're going to add them, my string 1 and my string 2, and tell me what comes out. Yeah. But they're all sort of like, they love too much. There is no space in between, right? So Python and love, they are like, yeah. So then we will say, okay, maintain some distance and have a space in between. My string 1 plus space plus my string 2, and then see what comes out. My string 1, my string 2, you are adding them up, and then in the second one you are adding them up with another character which is space, because I have a single quote and then I have nothing in between. I mean I have a space, sorry, I mean there's a space. There's a space in the single quote, so the space is going to be inserted over here. So remember, this is without the space, this is with the space. And if you want to have more space, I mean you can have many spaces there, and it will just separate out the Python from the remaining one. So in the single colons, you can insert as many spaces as you want, and it will show up between these two. Alright, so we can do the, the string multiplication as well. So if I do my string times 2, it's going to be repeated twice, my Python, right? Now who can tell me what is happening over here? We are adding j in Python. So basically it's going to chop off p. So it's going to look at from 1. So p is removed. So Python, because it's going to pull till the end, and then it's going to marry that with the j. So the Python becomes Jython. So we are starting from 1. So 1 will be included till the end. So what is getting excluded? The one which is sitting at the 0th position. Which letter is sitting at the 0th position? P is sitting there, right? So P will be excluded. So Python will be coming in from over here, Python, and then it will get married to J, and it will become Jython.